What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the basement here on this Saturday evening. How is everybody doing? Hope you guys are ready for an informative and fun stream. We have Marvel updates. We have, of course, DC updates. We got a good one for you. So prepare, basement crew. Fill your cup and light your smoke, because it's time to get nerdy. What's a happening, chat? How's everyone doing? Welcome in to this Saturday night stream here in the basement. I am, of course, chilling in the basement. Literally. What is happening, y'all? Spicy Dan, Brooke, Delta Dan, what's cracking? How's everyone doing tonight? Why is that so weird looking? Okay. That's better, I guess. Derpy 501st2. The source isn't reliable. The source for what? So my stream title isn't valid either. Okay. Well, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, make sure you hit like and subscribe and the bell. And then, prepare yourself to get pissed off, because it looks like you might be on Team Gun, and I'm going to have to crap on him a bit. But if it makes you feel any better, I skipped the chance I had to crap on him on Wednesday because I just didn't feel like it. I'm not skipping it tonight. Well, thanks for stopping by, though. Maybe you'll like the Marvel news. Actually, there is good DC news. If you actually read the description, I even mention it. There is good DC news, but then there's also not. Yeah. We got DC news and Marvel news to talk about. How's everyone's back half of the week been? How was your Thursday and Friday and day to day? I had a good day today. I shoveled. I mean, I don't know if you could call that good, but I adulted. I shoveled, shard, and then I went to the kids' house and hung out with grandkids and all that kind of fun stuff. So it was pretty cute. It was pretty cute. What about you guys? You guys do anything cool or at least not have anything, bad happen at a minimum? Life's all right for you, Brooke? Good. Good. Y'all know that one. Y'all know that one? It's good. Bruce Almighty, baby. Bruce Almighty. By the way, did everyone hit like? Just pretty please hit like if you're here. Or if you clicked on the replay, please still hit like. And if you're new, like Derpy, even though he's mad at me, you can hit subscribe and the bell and hate watch. That'd be pretty cool. I'll take that too. Watch Send Help. Isn't that the Raimi joint? With Rachel McAdams and some other dude? And some dude, I don't remember his name. Yeah, I need to watch that because I love me some fucking Raimi. I love me some Sam Raimi. I was a Raimi fan before he did Spider-Man. I'm talking back when he first put out The Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2. Army of Darkness. Drag Me to Hell was very similar to them. And I enjoyed that too. And of course, the Spider-Man movies, although Bully Maguire was cringe as fuck. Nobody's perfect. I love Multiverse of Madness. Some didn't. A lot of people did, though. Bitch almost cracked a Billy. 900 and change, baby. That don't happen without repeat views. Delta Dan, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has been great. My girls are healthy, so I'm good. Also, I tap like. Well, I haven't watched one frame of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I do keep hearing that it's good. But you know what? I want dragons, especially if it's set under the rule of the Targaryen dynasty. Like, that's when dragons populated the land. I want dragons. I want cape shit in my cape shit. Like, I want actual cape shit in my cape shit content. And I want dragons in my Westeros content. What's up, Travis? I mean, a lot of people say Wonder Man's good, and I don't give a fuck because it barely has any cape shit in it. Oh, maybe I'll give Knight of Seven Kingdoms a try, but, let's just say it feels like Wonder Man, which feels like Andor. Basically, I guess I'm not a big fan of shrinking IP that has big scope. Most of the time. There are, of course, exceptions to every rule. But yeah, most of the time, don't fuck with my shit too much. Travis. Sorry, I'm talking about my cat. He's in pain. Oh, Game of Thrones Knight's Tale. I never watched A Knight's Tale. Although Mrs. Chillin, who's not really big into movies, says I should watch it. If the Millennium in my eyes would be the damn Travis. I mean, I won't disagree. Like I'm not gonna argue that point at all. Not even a little will I argue that. Got outperformed by Iron Lung. I know, and congrats to Markiplier or Mark Pillier, whatever. What's that motherfucker's name? No, YouTuber going ham. I mean, good on him, bro. I have a feeling the YouTubers crossing into, like, for lack of a better term, mainstream entertainment, even though YouTube pretty much is mainstream entertainment these days. Maybe traditional entertainment, I guess you could say. The number of YouTubers breaking into traditional entertainment is probably only going to increase. Especially with the AIs. Mark Fishbach, aka Markiplier. Okay. Thank you. Markiplier. Yeah, he got himself a good one on this one. He's doing pretty well on this one. Might have to make another. Of course, you never know. In a lot of situations, we could very easily be looking at a one-hit wonder. Just as very easily as we could be, Jesus Christ, just as we could easily be looking at a franchise. Could just be looking at a one-hit wonder. Oh, he was all up in it too? Okay. Am I seeing more horror games being adapted into movies? I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think Silent Hill was it? Yes, it was. Back in the early 2000s, I believe. Or was that House on Haunted Hill? Shit, it was one of the two. They should make a good Doom movie. They should definitely make one better than the one The Rock was in. That's for fucking sure. I mean, yeah, that's fair too. Lockdown changed a lot of shit. Food delivery service boomed. Amazon boomed. Online business in general boomed, especially if it delivered something to you. And streaming brought you shit that you didn't have to go out and look for at like a video store or or go to a theater to see. Yep. The lockdown changed many, 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 many things. Another thing it changed was the amount of successful marriages. Evidently, the strength of a lot of people's relationship was like the time apart. Because divorce rates went during lockdown. off. Been hearing there are lots of Chinese games getting popular. I don't know. I'm not that big into gaming news, just like the big gaming news. I've actually heard of that one. I've heard of Black Myth Wukong. So, like, I'm not 100% unfamiliar, I guess, but very unfamiliar. Where Winds Rise is another super popular Chinese RPG Souls-like game. Doom has been redone as a film twice since the Rock movie. Has it really? Shit. Resident Evil's on its third reboot after the Paul W.S. Anderson ones. By Paul W.S. Anderson ones, do you mean the Mila Jovovich ones? Yeah, they, what was the last one called? Umbrella City? Or was that a game? Oh, nice. Wasn't it called, or Raccoon City? Resident Evil Raccoon City, or was that a game? Was that a movie or was that a game? I don't fucking remember. Oh, well. Guess what, chat? I got my booze back. So if any of you have a hand free and something handy, Raccoon City was a movie? Okay, cool. To you guys, chat, for being here pretty much all the fucking time. At least the ones that are in the chat right now. I watched all the Mila Jovovich ones. I will not argue with anyone who decides to question the quality, like cinematic quality of them in terms of like, you know, cohesion and story and shit. But they're fun to watch. They're entertaining. You don't drink, but man, do liquor bottles look cinematic. I mean, Crown is like, damn, that like, I got to figure out better lighting setup. But yeah, Crown is definitely instantly recognizable by the bottle. That's for damn sure. Crown's your favorite? Aha, there he is. And then I got this here bourbon bottle. Brandon, where the hell's the rest of your Discord? Get their asses in here and force them to push buttons. Love the first Resident Evil movie. Wasn't a huge fan of what came after that. See, here's my thing, and this is why I probably enjoy some of the Alien franchise movies more than others. But in terms of Resident Evil, like it's similar, not identical, because obviously Resident Evil was a game first, which I didn't play, so I wasn't like super into Resident Evil, the game. I didn't play it, therefore I also was not into the lore. Therefore, when the movies fucked around with the lore, it didn't piss me off because I was completely ignorant of it. I was just watching the movies to watch the movies. In Mila Jovovich. Spicy Dan. Wait a minute, it's not wrenches anymore? What the fuck? Fucking YouTube, now it's a shield? The wrench was so much better. Fucking YouTube. They never ask me about shit. I never get an email. Hey, chillin', what do you think about this idea? Sons of bitches. They'd come to me with this one. I've been like, fuck no, keep the wrench. That's some bullshit. Oh well. There's no way that's accurate. There's more than 2 people typing. You still see wrenches? I see a shield. Yeah, I don't see a wrench in my end. I see a shield. What the fuck? Why is that like that? Now it says nobody's watching. And what the fuck are you doing, YouTube? I need to refresh. Current viewer 0. I know for a fact that's not true because I have my other account watching, so there should always at least be 1. Brooke, do you see shields? Okay. You finished Legend of Vox Machina? I have not finished it yet. Executive Judge! What's happening? What the hell is wrong with the back end here? I'm not doing that stupid dual stream. Well, I still know I have more than 2. You know what? Fuck you. I'm starting over. Suck a dick. I don't need the back end up for the screen right now. Shit. So annoying. And I know you're a liar. Fucking thing. Says 4 watching from your end. You had to refresh. Yeah. Well, whatever. It'll be what it'll be. I don't care. Gotta go edit, but you tagged your Discord though. Good luck. Thank you. Have fun editing. Is that your own editing, or you gonna go edit for Josh? Legend of Vox Machina was so good. Yeah, I'm like, I think 2/3 of the way through the 2nd season currently. You doing all right there, Executive Judge? What's happening? And just yapping, just chit chatting for right now. I haven't even done any news items yet. I'm just kind of chit chatting about video games right now. Not yours? Okay. Don't worry, if it's not for Josh either, I won't tell him. Don't want him to get jealous. Yeah, I don't edit. Well, I don't really make short form videos. I mean, I probably should edit. I probably should start doing clips of these at least. Clip out some segments of the live stream. But I got to figure out how to weaponize my ADD into like being able to edit, because right now it works totally against it. Like I'm trying to organize shit and clip it in just the right spot and move that. Oh no, I'm still watching the Super Bowl, dude. I love football. I still think Marvel not putting Doomsday trailer tomorrow is not the best move. I'm not surprised about Brand New Day because Sony almost never does the Super Bowl anyway. Yep. we'll get to actually doing streamy type stuff. Okay, well, whatever. Whatever. Okay. Let's start doing actual streamy type stuff. And since we've been talking about games for the last few minutes, I decided to start with some video game adjacent news. Check this shit out, chat. A Baldur's Gate TV series is in the works at HBO. Craig Mazin, The Last of Us, will serve as showrunner. Well, from what I heard about The Last of Us, well, at least the first 2 seasons, that's probably a good thing. The show will be a continuation of the games set after the events of Baldur's Gate 3. Interesting. Baldur's Gate 3 developers Larian have no involvement with the show. You know, right up until that last line, that looked like good news. As someone, again, not a big gamer in any way, shape, or form, I never played Baldur's Gate, any of them. From what I understand from gamers, Baldur's Gate is fucking magnificent. So the idea of a Baldur's Gate TV show seems pretty cool. Them continuing the story beyond Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know what that would mean for a Baldur's Gate 4, except for Baldur's Gate 4 would probably have to be after the TV series or a prequel, if they ever make it, that is. But much more often than not, when you adapt something and you don't have the creators in there to like keep you under control and not doing stupid shit, stupid shit tends to happen. Baldur's Gate sounds like a term for a butthole. Okay. I mean, kind of, yeah. But, yeah. So that last part's a bit concerning. But yeah, other than that, I think that sounds pretty cool. Have any of you guys, like, played Baldur's Gate? Brooke says that he has a bit. How about any of the rest of you? Y'all play the Baldur's Gate? You like Baldur's Gate? You fans of Baldur's Gate? Know anything about Baldur's Gate? Should I even have bothered to talk about this shit? Like, what's happening, chat? And also, replay people. If you happen to be a gamer who likes Baldur's Gate, what do you think about this? Put it in the comments. Pretty please. And also make sure you hit any of the buttons that you did not hit, that you do need to hit. Open world-ish turn-based RPG. Okay. Game's degenerate. That's interesting. Interesting. Degenerate as fuck. Yeah. Maybe that can be distracting to those that play it. I mean, some people probably, other people probably be like, fuck yeah! You know? Excuse me for just a bit. I need to blow my schnozzles. Thank you for your patience. Better careful with terms you use on YouTube. Character creation menu people can get freaky. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Jiggle physics. You're talking about jiggle physics and exposure. I get you. Watch your uncle play Baldur's Gate Dark Lines 1 and 2 while they babysat you, and they look so difficult and freaky. The most deadly foes were giant jello cubes. What? What? Okay. Okie dokie then. Oh, yeah. Here's just a little rando thing. Actually, you know what? All right, here's something that's really fucking cool, though, guys. Check this shit out. This, I think we're all going to want. You ready? First look at Marvel Dimensions, a new 112-page graphic novel written and illustrated by Alex Ross, meant to be a tour of the classic Marvel universe and something more expansive. Could introduce 200 new characters / variants, releasing in September. 112 pages. Graphic novel. Written and illustrated by the motherfucking legend Alex Ross. Oh my god. I'm gonna need that book. I'm gonna need that book. Because that sounds fucking amazing. A tour of the classic universe and something more expansive. 200 new characters / variants. That's fucking nuts. I would imagine there are probably going to be more variants than original characters, you know what I mean? But you never know. Either way, I'm fucking here for it. I want that book. In Baldur's Gate and D&D, they're literally called gelatinous cubes, big jello cubes, and dungeons that eat you. Well, I mean, I guess you got to have goofy shit and everything at some point or other. Well, I'll tell you what, Brooke. I follow Alex Ross on the TwitX, and I'm sure he'll talk about it on there when the time comes. I'll let you know. And I'll let everybody know, because you know I'm going to talk about that shit on stream when that's about to come out. I'm hoping he drops like some panels between now and then. That'd be sweet. Not even full pages, just like a panel here or a panel there. That would be amazing. I mean, look at this thing, y'all. I will say, Alex Ross loves his square jaws. Very much into having all the dudes have very, very, very square jaws. That is like his thing. Like the epitome of the square jawed superhero. Look at this shit. We're getting the brown and yellow suit for Wolverine, evidently. Black suit for Storm. Sweet. Phoenix. Hulk. Namor. Black Panther. Spider-Man. Thor. Cap. Iron Man. Daredevil. Thing. The Widow. Johnny Storm. Wasp, it looks like. Surfer. That's supposed to be Cyclops? What the fuck? No, that ain't Cyclops. I don't know who the hell that is. Yeah, this looks fucking dope. Looks fucking dope, yo. I'm very much looking forward to that shit. Very much looking forward to that shit. What do you guys think? I am a dumbass. I should have had this pulled up. There we go. Okay. Okay. Damn, a lot of shit came out yesterday. Thank you. Okay. You know what? I always bookmark a bunch of shit, and then when I'm scrolling through it, I'm like, what? Why? Why did I? Why did I do that? Okay. Captain America being built like the front of a Ford F-150. Yeah, pretty much. Alex Ross. That's how he draws his people, man. They're broad. They tend to be bulky, which is actually something that makes me a bit less of a fan of his Spider-Man. I feel like his Spider-Man's too jacked. Like Spider-Man should be ripped but skinny. If y'all watch like MMA, Spider-Man should be like a bantamweight or a featherweight at the most. Okay, take that back. A lightweight at the most, but that's it, man. You should be wiry but ripped, but wiry. Like I love Alex Ross. His art is magnificent, but you know, I think he probably should pull it back on certain characters. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, no. Alex Ross is a motherfucking legend. There's no denying that or taking that away from him ever at any point in time. Spider-Man is like a lean build. Exactly. He's wiry. Alex Ross be drawing him a little bulky for my taste. But the art is still magnificent. Like, two things can be true at the same time. His art is amazing, but he draws Spider-Man a bit bulky, in my opinion. That's all. That's all. All right. All right, chat. Jiggity chat. Let's talk some DC. Great talk some DC. Let's talk about some DC, yo. We're going to use the sandwich method, except it's going to be reversed. Whereas the normal sandwich method of criticism is good thing, bad thing, good thing. Well, it's not going to be quite that in this case because, well, actually, I don't know. I'm not quite sure if this is good news or bad news. Maybe you guys can help me decide. Clayface has been delayed to October 23rd. I got to be honest, chat. When I first saw this tweet, I was like, oh, okay. And then I realized I cared so little about this movie, I couldn't remember when the fuck it was delayed from. I later found out and was reminded that it was September something or other. So basically, it's been pushed back a month. No idea why. Don't know if they're having issues in post or maybe editing's going a little slow. No idea. Maybe they're going to need to do some reshooting. Not sure. But it's been pushed back like 3 to 4 weeks. Again, don't know if that's good news or bad news, but I will say this much. This movie, which is being touted as body horror, I mean, makes sense. Coming out 8 days before Halloween rather than in mid-September is probably better timing overall. Like, let's be real. Being described as a horror movie. Is there a better time of year than around Halloween to be releasing a horror movie? No, there is not. So I don't. It could be just as simple as they're like, you know what, and they came to that realization. They're like, okay, is there an open slot anywhere near Halloween? Oh, hey, look, all right, we're gonna put Clayface there. They might not even be having trouble behind the scenes. It could be just that simple as someone went, you know what, that would probably be a good idea. Premiering our DC horror movie with, a week before Halloween. I mean, it does make sense, does it not, chat? So, maybe on the whole, unless there's some like massive problem behind the scenes or a group of small problems that taken together is massive. Unless there's something like that going on, it could be just as simple as they're like, fuck it, it's a horror movie. Let's put it closer to Halloween. I don't know. Could be either or. What do you guys think, though? Think it's a good move, assuming it's not due to issues? Actually, even if it was due to issues, it's definitely a good move because you better fix that shit before that thing hits theaters. But there you go, chat. Clayface has been delayed, 3 to 4 weeks. Probably a good idea, in my opinion. Makes sense. Horror theme and all, says executive judge. Yeah. I think so. And honestly, I hope it is just them realizing that, timing is important and can help or hurt your film. I mean, look at that war last July. Everyone lost money on that deal. All those movies could have made more. Timing is very, very important. So yeah, probably a good move. Oh, that work caught up. How nice. Yeah, we got a little Supergirl news, yo. Let me know what you think about this one. Yeah, what the fuck was that? All right. Junkie XL is now set to compose the score for Supergirl. He previously composed the scores for Batman v Superman and the Good Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. What do you think about that, chat? I don't remember the name of the person who was slated to compose, but it was definitely somebody with a much different vibe than Junkie XL. Yes, he did. He lost $500. I don't know what his obsession is with $500, but yeah, he lost $500. What do you guys think about that? The composer for the scores for BVS and the Snyder Cut is now going to compose the score for Supergirl. I think it's a mixed bag. First, I think it's a mixed bag because I liked most of the scoring for Batman v Superman and the Snyder Cut. Most of it, but not all of it. And also, Junkie XL style is very rock based, which obviously is, Gunn loves to use the rock and roll in his films, right? Um, of varying times and genres inside rock. So, from that sense, Junkie XL is probably a good choice. But also, the story of Woman of Tomorrow is pretty serious and pretty dark, frankly kind of depressing aspects of it. And I don't necessarily know that a Junkie XL score is right for what should be the themes of this movie. It is, however, pretty right for what Gunn likes to do. So yeah, from certain perspectives, this is actually really good news. From other perspectives, makes me want to go. I don't know about this shit. So yeah, Junkie XL now going to do the score for Supergirl. What are your thoughts about that, Shizzle Chat? And also, of course, replay people on every subject we speak of, whether I remember to remind you or not. Please drop your comments as you're watching along. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. I'm good with either. But drop them comments, please. And if you haven't done yet, hit the like. And if you're new or have returned and haven't quite decided to hit the sub, just decide to hit the sub and go click and hit the bell. Like, subscribe, bell. Like, subscribe, bell. Like, subscribe, bell. Just that quick and easy, man. Do it. And if you're feeling super frisky, chat, share this motherfucking stream out. Click share. Send it to family. Send it to friends. Tag everyone on all your contact lists and send it to them. Share with them the joy that is to be had here in the basement. There's a little bit more on the Supergirl front. A little more news on the Supergirl front, chat. It would appear, chat, that there was a test screening for Supergirl, according to this person, whom I've never heard of, but you'll see why I'm going over this in a moment. According to this Axel person, Warner Brothers held a test screening for Supergirl, typed held twice, interesting, sometime this past week, and I've talked to somebody who was there and saw it. So this is Rope Kittens. Welcome. Fake. Take a shower. Wow. Look, chat. I've gone from dipshit Melvinites to angry gun garglers. This is fun. And I did take a shower today, thank you. And I even shaved. Check it out. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. I'm actually about to praise a gun project. My apologies. I should never have called you a gun gargler. You're a Snyder slurper. My bad. My bad. How dare I call you a gun gargler? You have my deepest regrets. Of course, whichever side you happen to be on, you're a fucking cuck. Just so you know. So here, let me cover all my bases. For the Gun Gargler, the Suicide Squad was ass. It's the Love and Thunder of DC. Or if you're a Snyder slurper, Rebel Moon was a dumpster fire. So, there. Now you know I'm in neither camp. If they do something good, I'm gonna praise it. If they do something shitty, I'm gonna bag on them for it. Anyway. So, yes. This person talked to a person who was there and saw it. So, this is one person's opinion. Okay? So, let's keep that in mind. Lobo has a substantial role in the film and is crucial to the ending. Well, shit, I hope that's accurate. I really hope that's accurate. A, because I fucking love Lobo as a character. A friend of mine introduced me to him back in the late 90s. Was like, check this fucking comic out. And I read a Lobo comic, and I was like, damn, this dude's awesome. So, if he actually does... It's interesting to hear that, though, because there's been a lot of, like, speculation and rumor that his role probably is not actually going to be that big. Which, I mean, okay. I mean, that's kind of a bummer, but, you know, whatever. It's not the Lobo movie. It's a Supergirl movie, so fine. And he's not even the main villain. That's creme of the Yellow Hills. Got new haters. Totally, it has nothing to do with Star Wars. Yeah. Where was I? Yes. So I hope this person's right. Yeah, well, I'm getting to that one. I hope this person's right. He has a substantial role, crucial to the ending. Again, obviously, I hope he's right because I love Lobo. But I also hope this person is right because if Lobo's actually in it a decent amount, they can market him a decent amount and not anger people by having him only in the movie a smidge after making him seem in the marketing like he has a much bigger role. So that would be dope on multiple levels. Oh, I figured that. I figured you meant it that way. So yeah, give me that all day. Give me that all day. Item number 2. Krem is described as extremely menacing and a tremendous villain. Well, I would hope so. Because he looks like a fucking dumbass in that first trailer with his... Like, there are good piercings and bad piercings, and the way they set him up is bad piercing. He looks literally the opposite he looks in the comics. In the comics, he's like, you know, clean and well put together, flowing hair, beard, mustache. In this movie, he looks like he was strapped down in a piercer's chair and just, you know, looks like they put fucking piercings in with a, you know, an air tool of some type. It's a little ridiculous, all the dermals he has, so they're gonna have a lot to do to make him cool, at least from the very first initial impression they gave of him, in my opinion. Next item. The cinematography is an upgrade compared to Superman's. Cool. With a specific hallway scene compared to the action sequences of those in Daredevil and Guardians 3. Well, I really hope they're not referring to some of the fighting we saw in a pseudo hallway looking area in the trailer, because It just needs to be a different scene than that, because that scene isn't anywhere close to either of the ones mentioned here. Like, for real talk. Not even remotely close. So I'm assuming two things. A, I'm assuming this person isn't a moron or a glazer. And two, I'm assuming it's not what we saw in the trailer in any way, shape, or form. So, excellent. If true, excellent. Next item. Much darker and serious in tone than Superman, with human trafficking and violence being prominent. Okay. Well, again, that kind of tone is very accurate to the comic book story. So, good. I like all this. Described as a perfect balance of humor, darkness, and lightness. I mean, which is good if you can actually nail the balance. I don't know if Gunn can when he's not being restrained by Kevin Feige. When it comes to the humor part. I mean, Guardians 3, we know he can do darkness. He nailed that too. I will give him credit for that. Guardians 3 was fucking dark in a lot of spots and intense in a lot of spots, and Gunn hit me in the feels in that movie quite a few times. I will never deny him credit for that. He's a fucking piece of shit of an executive. But he does make good movies. He can hit you emotionally. Fully capable. He was just a producer on that one, though. But on the other hand, if he gets it in his craw to really gun everywhere, then you get shit like the Suicide Squad. So, yeah. But yeah, if if the balance is good of humor, darkness, and lightness, that's awesome, because, you don't really want a monotone movie, you know what I mean? That's just fucking boring. So, that's the report from this account. And again, you're all wondering who the fuck is Axel, and to be frank, I have no fucking clue, but this account was reposted by Cryptic, who I do know is reliable. And Cryptic says, the screening was today, actually, unless there was another secret one earlier on. All this lines up, though. Only difference is both my sources didn't like Krem and thought he was lame / underwhelming. Okay, so we have this person with one source, and then we have Cryptic with two more sources who back up everything this person's source says, except they felt the opposite about Krem. So that's 2-1 on whether Krem's good or not. So we'll see about that. But Cryptic sources are saying basically the same thing, though, which is awesome. So Lobo probably does have a substantial role. Okay, they disagree on the Krem. They agree about the cinematography. They agree about the hallway scene. They agree about the tonal shift. And they agree about the balance. And again, these are sources that this person trusts, who is pretty accurate. Chat. We could be in for a much better Supergirl movie than a lot of people expect. What the hell? We could be in for a much better Supergirl movie than a lot of other people expect, and possibly even, like, I always thought this was going to be a good movie, but this might be a really good movie, chat. That might end up being a really good movie. And that's good news for us and for DC in general. What do you think, chat? I mean, again, this is the opinion of a total of 3 people transferred to us through other people. So, obviously, this needs to be consumed with a fairly large amount of salt, right? But, choosing to take it at face value, that's good fucking news. Look at Thunderbolts. Yeah, that's a good example. Although I had decent expectations for it. But it met and exceeded those. So I was like, sweet. Yeah. So yeah, I have to agree. But yeah, I mean, if we choose to take the opinion of three people at face value, which, at least for the sake of discussion, I'm gonna that's encouraging to me. Let me know your thoughts, chat. Drop some comments, replay, people. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. Let's drop a couple of little Marvel tidbits here before we get into the big shit. This is very much a tidbit, but it could lead to some interesting things. The Russo brothers will talk about Avengers Doomsday in the next issue of Empire Magazine, releasing on February 12th. Why do I give a fuck about that? Well, the Russo brothers might choose to not necessarily, they might not necessarily let things slip, but they could choose to drop some juicy little hints. They could choose to bring along and allow Empire Magazine to print some, some interesting pictures or art or what have you. There could be, I very highly doubt there will be anything you could call a massive reveal. I doubt they're going to go that route, but they could drop a couple little tidbits that could possibly maybe allow us to maybe verify or debunk some information we've been hearing about this movie. They could say something that allows us to string what appear to be disparate theories together. Cool shit like that could very well happen next Thursday, chat. Or a whole lot of nothing. It could be a big old piece full of nothing but fluff that we don't get shit out of. Could easily be that. Obviously, I hope not. Fucking Ruffalo. That asswipe's trying to deny he's in Spider-Man. I'm like, bro, it was in the trades. You've talked about it. Like, come on now. Fucking Ruffalo. He's not, he makes Andrew Garfield look like a well-practiced liar. Like, oh my God, Ruffalo's so horrible at lying. That motherfucker wants to know how to lie. Ask a preacher's kid who wants to do things. You learn to become really skilled at prevarication. But still, next Thursday we could get some tidbits, chat. Right from the horse's mouth, as it were. What do you guys think? I think possibilities are cool. I have no idea why I just sang that. Here's another little tidbit. Actually, before we move along, you guys have any thoughts on that? You looking forward to that? Think it sounds cool? I think it sounds cool. I can't wait for all the aggregators who are actually willing to pay Empire to get access to that article start aggregating. I'll let them spend their fucking money. All right, chat. I've decided it's time for another cheers. I will give whoever wants to a chance to grab a little something to join me. All right. Slancha. Yummy. I don't know. I like whiskey, but there's also something that when it hits the wrong part of my tongue gives me yuck face. It makes people like, why do you drink it if it gives you that face? It's just hitting one spot wrong. Other than that, I love me some whiskey. Lady Sink's been way better about handling spoiler details. Oh, yeah. She knows how to keep her yapper shut, man. She's good. You are very right about that compared to Holland and Ruffalo and Garfield. Did y'all see the Colbert Show spot with Ian McKellen? He he spoke even more blatantly about when he destroys New Jersey in Doomsday. It's pretty cool. And at the end, he was talking about how the Russos are like, because he was, doing whatever he was doing to start the destruction of New Jersey. And they're like, shout something angry. And he's like, what do I shout? They're like, shout. He's like, what do you want me to shout? Something angry. So he says, and then I shouted, Mar-a-Lago. And I thought that was funny as fuck. Which should come as a surprise to absolutely nobody. That's as close as I'm getting to politics, but that shit was funny as fuck. Just wanted to share that real quick. All right, next little Marvel tidbit we're going to go with. What the fuck? Oh, I'd already clicked on that. Oh, no. I need to click there. There we go. Oh, we're going to get that. Don't, fear not, Brooke. We are X-Men and Avengers are going to fight at some point in time. I am 98.2% sure of it. Oh, definitely. I agree with you there. But yeah, he definitely doubled down on Magneto's about to destroy New Jersey and then started describing the scene. So, in, only a little bit of it and mostly what he, just a little bit of what he was doing. But yeah. Pretty fucking cool. Magneto's going to destroy New Jersey in Doomsday, chat. Whoop. Okay. Next little tidbit. Joe Locke will reportedly return as Billy Maximoff, also known as Wiccan, in Vision Quest. This is according to the Daniel RPK Richtman guy. To that, I say, cool. I also say, not a surprise in the slightest. I mean, at the end of Agatha, he and Ghost Agatha were going off in search of Tommy, and we already know Vision Quest is where Tommy's going to be found. So, yeah. Joe Locke returning in Vision Quest only makes sense. Now, probably, what up, Brennan? Now, it probably won't be It probably won't be till towards the end. If not, I would imagine probably not till almost the end of the final episode. Last third of the final of the season finale, series finale, whatever it ends up being. We'll probably come rolling in at the end like, I found you. And then they may or may not set up something with that. Who knows? But yeah, to me, that only makes sense. Not surprising in the slightest. I'm not like, holy shit, he's going to be in it. What? Yeah, no, none of that. Again, that was basically set up at the end of Agatha all along anyway. So, but still, cool. Definitely not unexpected, but cool. I very much enjoyed his character in Agatha all along. I think he does a damn fine job. I think he did a good job acting in general, and I enjoyed him as that character. So, like I said, no, a tidbit. There's a reason I'm calling some of these things tidbits, because it's not a lot, not a lot of speculation or what have you, or theory or anything to go into with this one. It's just like, hey, Wiccan gonna be back, unsurprisingly, in Vision Quest. So, any quick little thoughts? Please share them in the chat or in the comments, replay people. Yeah, I know. Nothing major. Not a lot to say. Next up, Basement Crew. Cryptic. We talked about him already. He's the one that retweeted the one thing about the Supergirl screening. He did an AMA the other day. Ask me anything. And someone asked him following. What are they going to do with the Kang storyline? His answer went as follows. I don't think they're going down the Kang route anymore. He'll probably be alluded to in Doomsday, but that's about it. Something similar to his chair appearing in What If, that kind of thing. Well, alrighty. I feel that's about the appropriate amount to refer to Kang in Doomsday. The most they should do, I mean, I wouldn't even mind if they show Kang right before Doom fucking takes him to Pound Town. That's the only reason I'd want to see him. But yeah, just a slight illusion similar to the chair in What If. Fucking perfect in my mind. I know there are Kang fans who are like, they need to finish his story. No, they really fucking don't. They actually don't have to do that. And if they want to like set his story in stone, then yeah. Doom takes the Council of Kings to Pound Town, solos them, dog walks them. And then there we go. Going off New Jersey, that's where Camp Lehigh was in Endgame, was also a lot of the Pym particles, and that's where Captain America was trained when he was still Skinny Steve. Remember, they also went there in Winter Soldier. Yep. Yep. What do you think about that, chat? Are you sad about not getting hardly any at all, barely a reference to Kang and Doomsday? Do you not care? What do you guys feel about that shit? How you guys feel about that shit? Yeah. Oh, the rumor of Toby and Ock. Yeah. Well, that actually came up on Wednesday's stream when I was going through Alex Perez's part one of his February Q&A. By the way, we're going over part two tonight. He said that rumor is not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Now he has been wrong, but he's way less wrong than he is right, like way less. So, I mean, I would love that. Toby and Ock fighting the X-Men? Fuck yeah, give me that all day. So I actually hope Alex is wrong on this one. But yeah, he said, nah, fam. That shit ain't happening. So I actually want him to be wrong on this one. I actually want him to be wrong. Oh, that's actually cool, Travis. Why don't you like start putting that shit down on paper and like bombing Marvel with all your ideas? That way they know that you're better than most of the people they have in charge right now. Anyway. Jillian isn't using logic to ruin things this time. Are we dead? No, I think first of all, you're right, and also fuck you, executive judge. Second of all, I am saying that probably isn't a real thing, but I'm hoping it is. So I'm kind of using logic to ruin things, but at the same time, hoping the logic is in error. Buster. I got your bitch. Love you. Come on. Okay. All right. Kevin, what's happening? Marvel Studios will move forward with BP3 and X-Men reboot after upcoming Avengers films. Yep. Right now you don't see a reboot happening because Tomorrow and Walden take control. I don't think those two taking control is going to affect anything Marvel's doing. at least not any of their more immediate plans. I don't think. Mostly because Disney has known a lot longer than we have that these two were going to be taking the positions they were taking. So I guarantee they've already met with Kevin, probably more than once. And already gotten a fair amount of shit straightened out. So I don't really think that's something that needs to be a worry or a concern. They're probably already cool with what Kevin has planned. Companies tend to like get shit set up to make sure the transition isn't too jarring. At least they try to do their best to do so. So yeah, I guarantee Tomorrow and Walden knew what was happening months ago. And I guarantee there's already been plenty of meetings with them and Kevin, and probably them and Filoni and Lin Brennan and whoever runs Pixar and that kind of shit. So Disney's known what's happening for probably quite some time and have been taking steps, is what I'm saying. Excuse me. All right, chat. Next item. We got another little tidbit from Daniel Rippick. And according to Daniel Rippick, concept art for the group The Enforcers has been seen for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Reportedly, they will be in the film. Okay, cool. Maybe. Any of you guys know who the fuck the Enforcers are? Because I don't. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask Chat Jippet. I'm going to have Chat Jippet tell me who the fuck the Enforcers are. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so according to Chat Jippet, the Enforcers are a recurring villain team in Marvel Comics, best known as Henchmen for Hire, who specialize in beating people up rather than elaborate schemes. They're most strongly associated with Spider-Man stories, especially early Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, so they're kind of going to the well with these motherfuckers. All right, here we go. The classic lineup consists of 3 members, each built around a simple physical gimmick. Fancy Dan is a master martial artist and acrobat. He's the skilled one, using judo, karate, and agility rather than raw power. There's Ox. Ox, shockingly enough, is the muscle. Superhumanly strong and incredibly durable, often portrayed as not especially bright, but extremely dangerous up close. Kind of like Grog in Vox Machina. And then there's Montana, a whip expert with exceptional reflexes and timing. He adds range and control to the team. All right. They work primarily as hired muscle for bigger crime bosses like the Big Man, Kingpin, Hammerhead, or Tombstone. And interestingly enough, Tombstone is supposed to be in Brand New Day. Their jobs usually involve intimidation, enforcement, and direct combat, not masterminding plots. So they're soldiers. They frequently clash with Spider-Man, who often defeats them through cleverness rather than brute force. The Enforcers have gone through multiple incarnations with different members or replacements over the years. Okay? Despite not being top-tier villains, they're iconic street-level antagonists representing organized crime's reliance on brute force. They've appeared in other media, most notably Spider-Man the Animated Series, where Montana, renamed Shocker's ally in some versions, became especially popular. All right. The Enforcers embody the ground-level criminal world of Marvel. Less cosmic, less super genius, if you know, you know, but a constant threat in the everyday battles of heroes like Spider-Man. They're a reminder that not every villain needs a world-ending plan to be dangerous. Ooh. Okay, so it's a trio of street-level muscle who generally works for much more intelligent crime bosses. That's cool, though. That's pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't like watching Spider-Man beat the fuck out of, like, street-level thugs like that? I know I love watching him do that shit. You guys like watching Spider-Man beat the shit out of street-level thugs? Because I do. How about you, replay people? Do you like watching Spider-Man kick the fuck out of street level thugs? Let me know in the comments. Chat. How do you feel about the Enforcers possibly being in Spider-Man Brand New Day? What the hell? Oh. ChatGPT just gave me a different description than Nexus Point News. I probably should have given that more to work on. Alright, guys. I know I'm just sitting here kind of staring off into space, but I'm trying to resolve the difference. I wonder if maybe I shouldn't just use Google on this shit. No. No. Okay. Sorry, chat. Although if ChatGPT is accurate, this could get very interesting. Huh. Well, remember how all these AI things tell you that, you know, always fact check because they can be wrong? Well, Chat Jippet was wrong on Metzger, on the next person we're about to talk about. He has just said the name, but forget I just said that. I. Okay, I'm done staring off into space, bro. I'm sorry, chat. What is this about She-Hulk? No! There's been a lot of back and forth on that. Yeah. All right, so chat. Nexus Point News has solved a mystery, if they're correct, obviously. So y'all remember a while ago, a couple months ago, we got the news that Tremel Tillman here has been cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but no one knew who the fuck he was. Well, evidently Nexus Point News has figured out who the fuck he is. And they wrote an article about it. So let's see. You ready? Like to hit go. Exclusive. Tremel Tillman's Spider-Man Brand New Day character revealed. Tremel Tillman's is the sub-commander? Yeah, he was fun in that. I enjoyed that. Tremel Tillman's mystery character in Spider-Man Brand New Day has finally been revealed. Nexus Point News has learned that Tremel Tillman is set to portray an obscure X-Men villain, William Metzger, in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Metzger will serve as the leader of Damage Control in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and will be an anti-mutant character. Sources tell Nexus Point News that Tillman signed a multi-picture deal, which potentially includes Marvel Studios' upcoming X-Men films. Metzger in the comics was created by Joe Casey and Steve Rude in 1999 and first appeared in X-Men Children of the Atom 1. Metzger led the anti-mutant militia in the X-Men Children of the Atom miniseries. The character was later killed by Magneto. Well, technically multi-picture could be two. You could be in Brand New Day and then be in Doomsday and happen to be in New Jersey when Magneto destroys it. Yeah, that could happen. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah. Spider-Man Brand New Day is written by the best known writer, SEO. Who the fuck cares? Okay, so chat. Tremel Tillman will be William Metzger, according to Nexus Point News, will be William Metzger, leader of the anti-mutant militia in the comics. But leader of, not sure, I don't know if they meant the entire Department of Damage Control or just in charge of the one that's going to be in that. Leader of Damage Control. Okay, yeah, so, yep, in the comics, leader of the anti-mutant militia. In the MCU, leader of the Department of Damage Control, which, of course, is after Sadie Sink's character in Spider-Man. Kendall! What's happening, bro? So, chat. William Metzger, in comics. Leader of the anti-mutant militia. In Brand New Day. Leader of the Department of Damage Control, chasing down Sadie Sink's character. William Metzger, anti-mutant militia. Leader of Department of Damage Control is chasing Sadie Sink's character. Anti-mutant militia chasing Sadie Sink's character. I don't know about you, chat, but this feels like tacit confirmation that Sadie Sink is fucking Jean Grey, and we all just need to live with it. If we're not fans of it, and rejoice if we are. This casting character would line up with the end of Wonder Man. I'll have to take your word for it. I didn't watch past episode 2. Exactly. Why would he want to go after Sadie Sink's character as the leader of Department of Damage Control, and whose character is based on someone who led the anti-mutant militia in a Marvel X-Men miniseries? Why on earth would someone like that want to go after Sadie Sink's character? I don't know. Because she's fucking Jean Grey. Like I said, this is, in my mind, this is tacit confirmation that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. So obviously he thinks Spidey's a mutant. I mean, I'm sure he probably thinks that. I mean, technically, Spidey is a mutate because his DNA was altered by the radioactive spider bite, but he is not a mutant. He was not born with the X gene. Jean or Rachel's. It's not going to be Rachel Summers. It's going to be Jean Grey. They're not going to drop a whole bunch of time travel, like more time travel into this. I was being sarcastic. I know. But I played along with it, motherfucker. By the way, thanks for being here. Everyone, thank you for being here. It's been a minute since I was grateful for y'all's presence. I'm sorry it took almost 2 hours to say thank you again. But thank you guys for being here. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you. If you're still hanging out, thank you. I will also take this opportunity in the midst of my gratitude to humbly ask you to push the like if you haven't done so. And if you're new, also please push the subscribe and the bell. And also join the Discord, which I'm sure one of my awesome community members will be dropping in the chat shortly now that I brought it up. Given Metzger's after mutants. Well, the Department of Damage Control, at least so far, is just after the enhanced, powered individuals, as it were. Which would include pretty much any superhero or supervillain that's powered in any way, shape, or form. But yeah. Definitely mutants are on the list. And she's Jean Grey. Like, just accept it, guys. She's not Rachel Summers. She's not Firestar. She's not Shathra. She's not Mayday Parker. She's Jean Grey. Spider-Man brand new day budget is really $275. Where'd you see that number at? I mean, I totally believe it. Don't get me wrong. I totally believe it. Like, I mean, they're still probably lowballing, but they're not lowballing as much as other people have lowballed. So, yeah, 275 means they would need to hit, what's that, 550? What's half of 27? 13 and a half. 13 and 3/4. 550. 680. Yeah, it's going to have to hit like 680, 690 just to break even. Call it 7. Maybe it's Punisher who protects her is the one who takes out Metzger. Well, one of the main rumors is that Punisher is protecting her from the Department of Damage Control. But there's a bit of an issue with the second half of your statement, Travis, and that's in the article he's signed to a multi-movie deal. So if Punisher takes him out, it will not be in Spider-Man 4. Not saying he couldn't do it down the line. It just won't be in Spider-Man 4. No, I didn't want to do that. God damn it. Probably did that. Okay. No problem at all. Actually, let me grab a pop real quick. My throat's doing it. Okay. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, chat. All right, chat. I'm going to leave this up to you. Okay? I'm going to leave it up to you. 2 things left to talk about. Okay? I'm going to let you guys choose what order we're going to go in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it with a poll. We're going to do a poll, chat. Pull it up. There you go. We're pulling it up. These are what's left. Alex Perez and then the death of a project. Or the death of a project, then Alex Perez. You let me know, chat. What order do you want to do this shit in? Excuse me. I'll give you a couple minutes. Department of Damage Control could have a division specifically for mutants? I mean, they could, yeah. And it never hurts to have specialized units to deal with specialized groups. You know, it's never a bad idea. Now we got to learn to save best for last. Well, which way did you vote? Are you the 1 vote for option B, or are you one of the 2 votes for option A? Which, come on, chat. I know most people that hop in the stream are just lurking, but, you know, look back over to the screen and click on a choice just real quick. Won't take you very long. I promise. It won't take you very long. Peter being in an intern program with Bruce, who's taken over Stark Industries, and Peter's blood, which is also radioactive, accidentally mixes with Hulk, causes him to go savage. Ooh. Actually, shit. I just realized I saw something that I forgot to bookmark, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I saw someone say, and it didn't say why, they didn't say why Hulk went savage. But they did say, and I can't remember where this comes from. I feel it's like one of the more reliable people that said it. But I'm not 100% sure on this, chat. But so, again, take this with an entire shaker of salt. But I saw someone say that Savage Hulk in Brand New Day is going to be the same level of savage as when Wanda fucked with him in Age of Ultron. So no grinning at people, no being happy to see his friends, no talking, no the sun's getting low, big guy or big fella or whatever the fuck it is. Full on, insane with anger, Savage Hulk. Yeah. I hope that's true. Give me that shit again. And they won't have Stark around with Hulkbuster armor to deal with it either. It's going to be Punisher and Spidey trying to deal with that shit. Possibly Jean as well. Actually, that would make a lot of sense because Punisher and Spidey on their own versus like full Savage Hulk. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Even as strong as Spidey is, I don't know about that one. But if they have a telepath, a powerful telepath slash telekinetic, helping them out with a really, really savage Hulk, their chances would increase. Keep that in the back of your mind, chat. Because if the one thing is true, that increases the odds of Jean Grey being part of the fight against Hulk. That'd be pretty fucking cool. All right. Another minute or two, and then I'm closing the poll, and we're going with the order that you guys determined. All three of you. All right. While we're waiting to close the poll down. Prost. The debate of making heroes identify whether they were born enhanced or became enhanced, becoming a conflict, would lean into the Ultimate Spider-Man story. Ooh, that's cool. That's a pretty sweet dynamic. Also, the Thunderbolts, or at least a few of them, could show up. Yeah, that too. Well, Yelena's going to have a cameo in this, allegedly. Allegedly, she's going to come try and recruit, I believe, Spider-Man to join the Thunderbolty Avengers with a Z. I think I heard a rumor about that. Like that. Born enhanced or became enhanced, becoming a conflict. Like the vampires in Blade. You're not the pure blood. You merely turned. If you know, you know. All right. The people has spoken. The crew has decided. We're going to go over whatever Alex has to share with us, some of which hopefully is pretty fucking cool. And then to end stream, I'm going to crap on guns. So here we fucking go. Part 2 of Alex Perez's February Q&A, baby. Let's do this. Out of my fucking face with that shit. So what do we got? Daredevil, Iron Fist, Hulk, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, and more. Okay, usual intro, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip all the hey, how you doing bullshit. Okay, here we go. Okay, one question about Ant-Man and the Ant Fam. Is there any sort of word on recasting Hank and Janet post-Secret Wars? Or is the active Ant family just shrinking down to Cassie, pun intended? No plans for Hank and Janet moving forward. Okay. They really should recast him and make him younger, which would make the Avengers team more like the comics. Because Hank was Ant-Man and Janet was the Wasp back then. Except they weren't together all the time. Janet was frustrated with him. Actually, if I remember right, Hank and Janet in the comics had a very similar dynamic to Reed and Sue. You know, aloof genius, patient yet annoyed yet loving partner, or at least in Janet's case, someone who wanted him to be, wanted to get with him. So yeah, very similar dynamic. So I honestly think they should recast and, set them up much more like they were in the comics, but oh well. Okay, Champions Young Avengers, only one question. You mentioned in the last Q&A that you had heard that Noah Var was reportedly being eyed for the villain of the Champion show, but you needed to follow up on it. Did you get around to doing that? And if so, is that still the aim currently, or are they going another route? Still a bit too early, but when I get an update, I'll follow up. Okay, well, I don't fucking care anyway. So, moving on. Daredevil and Devil's Reign. Will the Devil's Reign storyline conclusion be under a Spider-Man movie title or a crossover team-up event? Ooh, I like the way this begins. This is an Jesus Christ. Let's try that again. This is an excellently timed question because I get to tell you about a recent rumor that has me excited for the next saga. Ooh. I have heard the idea thrown around for the upcoming saga to feature a crossover team-up film that would serve as the epilogue of the Devil's Reign storyline that technically started all the way back in Hawkeye with the appearance of Wilson Fisk. The idea would be feature street-level heroes from New York City affected by Fisk's reign of terror against vigilantes. And we would see the likes of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher, and more team up to take down Wilson Fisk and his enforcers in a final bout against the regime. And that said, film is the current path for Spider-Man to be able to appear alongside these heroes. This is apparently one of the plans they have in motion to try and get these heroes to appear together. Chat? First of all, fuck yeah. Second of all, you may recall that when it was looking like Spider-Man 4 was going to be a grounded story, I was thinking they could conclude Devil's Reign in that with some negotiation with Sony. But Spider-Man 4 has turned into what it is. Fine. So, again, as we've talked about previously, it's like, okay, Spider-Man 4 won't be it. Well, then I guess Spider-Man 5 will next saga. Now, does that kind of suck that we have to wait that long for the conclusion of this shit? Yup. We've been talking about how it was set up fully at the end of Echo with, what's his butt, Fisk in the limo watching about the New York City mayor's race, and then they followed up on it in Daredevil Born Again Season 1 with him becoming mayor and forming the anti-vigilante task force. And in the comics, we know he recruits villains to serve as enforcers on the anti-vigilante task force, which, they already hate the vigilantes anyway. So, of course, that would appeal to them. So, yeah, Spider-Man 5 is the perfect spot to seal up Devil's Reign. Because you can bring all the TV people into the Spider-Man movie. And one advantage to this movie not happening till after Secret Wars is that gives Marvel time to work out getting Kingpin from them, because the reason we can't have Kingpin in the movie right now is because Sony's being fucking annoying. Vincent D'Onofrio actually spoke to this the other day. He was asked about being in Brand New Day, and he's like, yeah, no movies for me until the rights get worked out. It's like, God damn it. And in this case, I actually believe the Marvel actor. Mostly because it's been talked about plenty of times before. So, in-game style fight but grounded. Well, it'd be a lot like the fight during the invasion of New York, except with no aliens. Just superheroes / vigilantes versus villains. And anti-vigilante task force people. And eventually someone's going to go hand to hand with Fisk. Potentially multiple someones. Can you imagine Spidey and Daredevil teaming up against Fisk? Oh my God. Punisher taking care of the anti-vigilante task force while they handle Fisk. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be Spider-Man 5. Now, how they will turn the end of Devil's Reign into a title that contains the word day, if they're going to do that, if they're going to do that shit again like they did with the word home in the previous trilogy, if they're going to stick with day in all the titles, no idea how they will turn the end of Devil's Reign into day. I mean, it could be Judgment Day. Could be Day of Freedom. Can't be Brand New Day, obviously. So, maybe they'll keep the day motif, maybe they won't. But if all that shit's going to happen in a Spider-Man movie, it's going to have to be Spider-Man 5. Why does it have to be 5 and not 6? Well, that storyline, by the time they even get Spider-Man 5 out, will have been percolating over multiple projects for... When did Echo come out? 24, right? So going on 4 years by the time we are going to get that movie at the absolute earliest. So, yeah, it's got to be Spider-Man 5, guys. Has to be Spider-Man 5. You guys think of that? But still, oh man, we've all been wanting that shit. Everybody's been wanting that shit, and it looks like we're gonna get that shit 2024. Yeah, so, and the earliest we would get Spider-Man 5, and probably not that year, would be 28. We're probably not gonna get it to 29. Like, let's be real, we're probably not getting Spider-Man 5 till 2029. We may as well accept that right now. But still, that's fucking amazing. They need to make that shit happen. Sony needs to quit being a bunch of bitches and just give Kevin all the toys. Just be like, bro, handle it, please, and thank you. And just sit back and get your 75%. Maybe get them to knock it up to 77, 78, maybe even 80. Take another 5%. Let Kevin Feige have whatever the fuck he wants. Do it. Depends on Secret Wars being a two-parter. Yeah, if Secret Wars is only one part, then yeah, they could get Spider-Man 5 in at the end of 28, late 28. True. But if it is a two-parter, it's going to be 29. Probably the May slot in 29, I would imagine. Or July again. It'll definitely fall into the area of the calendar known as summer movie. It'll be a summer blockbuster, a summer tentpole, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you are right. It does depend on that, probably. At least, yeah, I would imagine you're right. All right, but still, super dope. But let's move along. Question. Is the White Tiger TV show a probability still? Alex says, not 100% sure at the moment. I, for one, hope not. There's 0 point to that shit. Okay, here we go. Is there any chance for a Daredevil Ms. Marvel team up in the future? Not in the current spectrum of possibilities. Thank God. Because please no, not ever. I'm good on that. Ms. Marvel Daredevil team up. No. Quote Chris Tucker. Hell no. So, yay. Love that answer from Alex. Ooh, the Defenders. Right, since Cryptic recently teased Finn's return as Iron Fist, I'm very curious on his potential future. Whether he'll simply be a mentor role for Lin Lee and Colleen, get a good amount of stuff done in his own right, like Heroes for Hire and a Shang-Chi cameo, or maybe both. I've heard that Finn Jones' return would be as both hero and mentor. He'll still be Iron Fist, but he'll be looking for someone to replace him. The last time I heard, they wanted Lin Lee. Okay, well, I don't like Finn Jones as Iron Fist. Exactly. I love Kamala too, but yeah, not that pairing. No, thank you. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Finn Jones as Iron Fist. The show was okay. He is not a good actor, at least for me. No, I'm good. So him returning, not thrilled about, but he'll be looking for someone to replace him. That makes me happy. So if they're bringing him back just to get rid of him again later, just giving him one last bit of shine, and then sending him off into the sunset, cool. I'm here for that shit. I mean, personally, I'd rather never see him again. They can just go right to Colleen or Lin Lee. I'm going with Lee. Lin Lee, maybe. Yeah. I'd prefer they just went right to one of those two, but if he has to come back, that's how they need to do it. He needs to come back, get the fuck out again. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Finn Jones coming back for a little while? And then moving on to a different Iron Fist. What y'all think? I've said my piece. Say yours. Also, replay people. Say your piece in them their comments, man. Fisk walking into Rand's company, asking Ward where Danny is, and then killing Ward when Ward couldn't tell him. Yeah, he needs to squeeze his fucking head like he did the other guys. That was pretty cool. And that was actually pretty representative of like comic book Fisk's power, which I like to see. I mean, you don't have to have your Wilson Fisk so grounded that he can't be like comic book OP as well. So that's why I liked it when he popped the homie's head like a zick, because that was the most comic book OP they've had Fisk the entire time, including the Netflix shit. So I was pleased to see that. Ollie Wing was kind of cool. Yeah. Ward was the best part of the show, you thought? I don't know. I like Trinity in it. What's her fucking actual name? Someone help me out. What's Trinity's actual name? Fuck me. Carrie Ann Moss. Bam. Got it. Carrie Ann Moss was pretty dope in that, too. She's pretty dope in all the Marvel shows she was in. That was a cool character whose name I can't recall, but yeah. Carrie Ann Moss was good. Okay. Oh, wow. No silly-ass greeting in this one. Right to the point. Good job, High Five 326. With the old Defenders expected to return in the next few years, can we expect to see their old villains like Kilgrave, Davos, Diamondback, and Bushmaster to return as well? It is possible, but the only one I've heard mainly is David Tennant as Kilgrave. Ooh, Purple Man. Chat. I want them to actually make him purple this time. What do you guys think? Need to watch Iron Fist Season 1 before you watch Defenders? Yeah, I've watched every season of the Netflix stuff. I've watched it all. I should go back and watch that shit. Yeah, but David Tennant coming back as Kilgrave, awesome. But I want him to paint him purple. I want him to actually be the Purple Man, not just be a dude with the name of Kilgrave with the powers of the Purple Man. I want him to be fucking purple. But other than that, fuck yeah, he was awesome. You know how it looked like in real life? I don't know. That's what fucking professional makeup artists are paid to do. As long as they hire different ones than the ones they did to do the leader. Because, oh my god, what the fuck was that shit? So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they I know, I would just like him to actually be purple, but you have a pretty good point there, Executive Judge, because yeah, that might be stupid looking. You're right, it might be very stupid looking. They might just have to keep him looking like a dude. Normal dude. Oh well. Next section, Guardians of the Galaxy. All right. Is there right to the question here. Cool. Maybe he realized everyone else was looking like bots and edited that shit out. Is there any possibility of a solo project or new franchise, Annihilators, in Star-Lord's future, or will his story continue only in event movies? There is. I've commented on it before. Okay, well, cool. Will we see the Guardians in Doomsday, or will they be saved for Secret Wars? We haven't heard about them in any of the leaks, so I was curious. I think they kind of forgot about them, not going to lie. Okay, so no Guardians in Doomsday, huh? I mean, Star-Lord's on Earth, and I think I saw someone tweet about this. I was like, but Star-Lord's on Earth. Do you think he's just going to sit this shit out? And someone pointed out that technically he's not on the Guardians anymore. So I'm like, oh. Yeah, you got to resort to pedanticism, but they were right. Star-Lord's not technically part of the Guardians. So if you want to say that we're not going to see any of the Guardians of the Galaxy in Doomsday, but still get Star-Lord, technically, pedantically, that would be accurate. Yeah. That's been rumored a couple times, Brooke. Been rumored a couple times. Hulk. Ooh, here we go. The Gray Hulk, Beast version, Green Hulk, Savage Hulk, or Joe Fixit, Hulk in suit. Which version will we see in Brand New Day in the Avengers movies, please? Oh, here it is. Oh, it was someone tweeting about what Alex said. It's a Savage Hulk similar to the one from Age of Ultron when Wanda got in Banner's head. Oh, baby. Like I said earlier, that version of a Savage Hulk, Spider-Man and Punisher ain't going to be able to handle on their own. Good thing for them, they're going to have a telepath around. Okay. Shit, I need another beverage. I have a very annoying tickle in my throat. I'll be right back. Yeah. Alrighty. Let us continue, chat. Shang-Chi questions. Are there still plans to make Shang-Chi 2, and if so, is Destin Daniel Cretton going to direct it? Yes, and yes. Cool. Will Marvel go more into the history of the Ten Rings, the organization, at some point with like an animated show or something like Eyes of Wakanda? Interesting. Marvel Studios is interested in developing a Ten Rings project similar to Eyes of Wakanda. From an idea that I heard, though, different from how Eyes of Wakanda was executed, they want to show how the organization has gone on through the ages and has influenced the events of the MCU from the very beginning. It would have had the organization interact with characters throughout history, including the Eternals, the Red Room, World War II, and modern MCU events. That could actually be kind of cool. Excuse me. I would actually be down for that shit. God damn it. Here we go. I would actually be down for that shit, though. That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool, man. Oops, Spider-Man questions. Hell yeah. Oh, here we go. Back to the greetings. Yeah. I was wondering whether you could tell us what other characters Marvel wants Spider-Man to team up with / interact with. Aside from the Daredevil stuff in the next saga. This is very, very early. Massive caveat. But Deadpool is the top one thrown around. Oh, there'd be a lot of jokes in that shit. The logistics aren't impossible, but very, very tricky and difficult given the current nature of Sony's deal. But if anyone can pull it off, it's Ryan Reynolds. Mephisto is another character. I can already hear the fans screaming now. I mean, I'm not screaming, but that'd be dope. And there's one more character who pops up in Brand New Day, whose role I hope remains at the level of the Tinkerer in Homecoming. Because if it goes even remotely close to a certain Spider-Man storyline from the 90s, which Spidey fans have dubbed the worst storyline saga ever, we might start seeing double. Chat, what the fuck is he even talking about? Hold up. I'm going to try Chat Jip it again, even though it fucked me over earlier. How did he put it? What? Spider-Man. The Clone Saga. Okay. If it goes in, we might start seeing double. Okay. All right, so the Clone Saga is what he's referring to, which makes that last little statement make sense. Okay, so Chat Jippet has the following to say. Chat. That dubious honor almost always goes to the Clone Saga. 1994 to 1996. Among Spider-Man fans, critics, and even Marvel editors themselves, the Clone Saga is widely cited as the worst Spider-Man storyline of the 90s, and often the worst ever. Overlong and bloated, it dragged on for nearly 2 years because it was selling well, not because the story needed it. Peter Parker was revealed, then unrevealed, then re-revealed, to possibly be a clone while Ben Reilly might be the real Spider-Man. Major plot points were reversed multiple times, sometimes within months. Writers have openly said the story was changed on the fly by editorial mandates. The final explanation, Norman Osborn secretly behind everything, spoiler alert, felt forced and undermined earlier arcs. It did introduce Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, who later became popular, but that's usually cited as the one good thing to come out of it. If you ever hear someone say that almost killed Spider-Man comics in the 90s, we're talking about the Clone Saga. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, who the fuck's the Tinkerer? One more character who pops up in Brand New Day whose role, I hope, remains at the level of the Tinkerer. Okay. If it goes even remotely close to a certain Spider-Man. Okay. A lot more research than I want to do on the fly is going to be required for that. I need to remember to come back to that one, though. Okay. But that's pretty cool, though. Mephisto rumors still ringing strong. Yeah, it never goes. Mephisto rumors will never die. They will never die. All right. So, interesting. So he's hinting that there's going to be a character who pops up in Brand New Day that could somehow instigate something that could go remotely close to the Clone Saga, and we might start seeing double. Yeah, that'll take a lot more research than I want to do on the fly. So we're going to move on. There's a chance Tom Holland Spider-Man could interact with Deadpool? Look above. Yes, of course. All right. It's been said that there's going to be various other villains in Brand New Day than the ones reported. Does this mean that they'll be part of the potential opening up montage? If you know, you know. For the film to establish Spider-Man's rogues gallery over the years since we last saw him? Seems as though Peter has made quite some enemies since No Way Home. If so, something like that. Most of them are literally very niche B or C rank villains from the comics. This film really has the record for the most Spider-Man villains in one movie. There are about 9 villains from his rogues gallery here. Wow, 9. Since the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer will not be released anytime soon, or at least when we expect it, yeah, do you have any new plot information or cast news for the film? I just teased the villain above. Okay, so it's a villain that's going to do this shit? All right. So that actually, wow. He actually gave a little more context to this one. One more character. I'm assuming the Tinkerer is a villain. I mean, it sounds like he's a villain. So, okay. So whoever this mystery... Oh, Jesus Christ. So whoever this mystery character is, here he just confirmed it's a villain. That was nice of him. All right. I was asking about the updates on live-action Miles Morales. I've recently heard rumors of Caleb McLaughlin playing that. I personally very much hope he does. But have you heard anything on it and any updates on when we will see Miles in live action? Will he appear in Secret Wars? I have no updates on live-action Miles. Okay. Will Tombstone be pushing some sort of drug that has a big impact in Brand New Day? No. That's pretty straightforward. No drug. One character I'm surprised we haven't heard more about in the lead up to Brand New Day is J. Jonah Jameson. Do you know if J.K. Simmons will be returning? I've heard that Jameson will be returning for Brand New Day. Good, because J.K. Simmons is the fucking man. There were also some rumors about Angourie Rice returning as Betty Brant, working under Triple J in the Daily Bugle, and the idea of introducing Robbie Robertson as well, but nothing as of yet. Another one we saw recently reports rumors that Sony is more open to sharing characters with Marvel. Oh yeah, we did go over that a couple weeks ago, didn't we? Will Spider-Man and Spider-Man characters be able to show up in more projects? It's a possibility. Mainly it's the film rights because TV is still at a standstill and Sony refuses to budge on that. Bitches. Alright, that's it for the Spider-Man. Vision Quest, one question. Will Daisy Johnson be in Vision Quest? Is that a safe bet at this point or is it still very up in the air? No. God damn it. The connection to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has to do with AI. Well, if they're connecting it to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will now be official MCU canon, bitches. C-Dub! If Vision Quest is really going to connect to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., guess what's now canon? Baby. Hell yeah. EOS is about to be canon. Some people will love it, like myself. Others will hate it, like other streamers we like. But I'm here for that shit. Whoop, whoop. Wonder Man questions. Have you heard when or if we may see Simon Williams show up again? Given his positive reception, expect a second season for Simon Williams. I mean, a lot of people have said they like that show. The reception is good. The question is, does the social media buzz about Wonder Man, will it end up equating to viewing minutes on Nielsen? Given that it just premiered, last week? Week before? We still have 4 to 5 weeks before we'll find out how it actually did on the charts. Could Doorman still be a mutant that had his powers activated by the Dark Force in a way similar to Kamala in the Bengal? Yes. Okay, cool. I guess Doorman was episode 4. I didn't watch past episode 2, so. But still cool. I hear Doorman was a good episode. X-Men. Sweet. One question. Fuck. It's clear that mutants will be a major focus of the next saga and will be involved in several projects. It's the fucking mutant saga, Jay. How often do you expect us to visit Xavier's in the upcoming phases? Is it something that we should expect to be mostly relegated to the primary X-Men films and a few cameos in other films? Or is it fair to expect a Disney Plus series or series in which the school will actually be the primary setting? At the moment, you've got the X-Men film and X-Men 97 to look forward to. Nothing else I can provide information on at this time. Okay. I think it's pretty safe to say that he's heard about shit. He knows there's movement on multiple projects. But it's way too early to even think about giving out information because it probably won't be true for very long. All right. Miscellaneous questions. Will Marvel Television be more involved with telling a connected story to the MCU and reset for the next saga? Still more of the same, to be honest. So in other words, no, which is fine because Marvel already told us that's the way Disney Plus is going to go. Mostly standalone shit. That'll be loosely connected to the overarching story being told in the movies. That was the plan we were told. That's what we were told was the plan, like last year, maybe even in 24. No, last year. Ooh, portable air compressors are tight. If you know, you know. All right. All right. This is the last question. Nope. Almost, though. Okay. I'm sure you'll be getting a few questions about the potential of Secret Wars being split into 2 films. That is, now that it's being hinted at by you, Roca, and RPK. But I'm more curious about how it affects the rest of the slate. My observations had led me to believe that Secret Wars would most likely be followed by 2 films in 2028, X-Men in May and Black Panther 3 in November. despite having 2 additional untitled dates in February and December because of Marvel's renewed commitment to quality over quantity. How do you imagine the 2028 slate playing out now? All right, chat. You bought the high-end German version? Yeah, very good choice. The German version, always superior. Our engineering has been the best for decades. I'm the amazing Nightcrawler. Kurt Wagner. Okay. All right. So, where was I? Yes. Before I scroll down to see what Alex says, we talked about this, I think, a week ago, right? And I laid out a couple of scenarios. There are the dates for 2028 for Marvel are February, May, November, with a tentative one in December. So 3 definite, possibly 4. The way I see it is they could do Secret Wars Part 1 December, Secret Wars Part 2 in February, have either the X-Men movie ready for May, or a sequel to Black Panther or Doctor Strange ready for May, and then X-Men in November, and probably still nothing in December. Or they could do Part 1 in December, Part 2 in May. They could leave the February slot empty, or they could slide us a Battle World movie. That'd be tight. And then again, X-Men in November. And still nothing in December. Those are the scenarios. Honestly, I think it's going to be December and May. Hoping but not counting on a Battle World movie in February. And then X-Men in November. Here we go. I'm not the best person to ask this. Ha ha ha. Remember that these dates are always shifting and amenable to change. Okay. Josh has been giving Alex a lot of shit about his vagueness lately, which I think he's kind of going overboard on, but I'm totally with him when it comes to this fucking answer. What the fuck is that? I'm not the best person to ask this. Ha ha ha. Remember that these days are always shifting and amenable to change. Man. Fuck you, Alex. All right. If you had to guess, what do you think? Oh, this is the last question, by the way, chat. If you had to guess, what do you think the release schedule will be for the rumored films in the next phase? Basically the same question. It really is a bit too unclear because they still want to finish the multiverse saga, and there are a lot of ideas that they would like to explore, but don't know whether they should proceed with it or if they'll go well with audiences. All right, that's an answer. So there was some pretty cool shit up in there, chat. Some of that Spider-Man shit was dope. Some of that Spider-Man shit was dope. What do you guys think? What do y'all think about the Alex Perez Q&A? Let me know your thoughts, chat. Replay people, drop some comments. Pretty pleasing things. I'm going to go pee. I'll be right back. I want to see some new chats by the time I come back, motherfuckers. Hey, what's up, Randon? Now, is that a secondary account? Because if so, sub with it. Where the fuck is Brennan? Thought he showed up earlier. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You know what? You're right. I don't see him. Yeah, I don't think he's here tonight. Don't tell him I didn't notice. That's your channel? Your sub? Okay, cool. Nice. All right. Final subject, which means shit. Grab yourself something, Chad, if you have it handy and want to. Cheers. Oh, yeah. All right, chat. Posted a pic in Discord. What kind of pic? Dare I look? Well, I can look without putting it on screen. Let's see what happens here. Come on, you can do it. Boot up, bitch. Comicbookmovie.com. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Y'all want to see his dope ass German compressor? Look at that motherfucker. Ittenwolf. Ittenwolf. We make the compressor to reinflate the tires. That's actually pretty cool. I like it. Pretty cool, bruh. All right, guys. We have arrived at our final subject, which is also the thumbnail subject. Now, Mr. John Roca broke this last night on a live edition of his show that he calls the Geek Buddies, which actually is a fun little show. But he had put out there that he had some what he called big DC news, and it just so happened that he broke it right when I had the opportunity to tweet about it. Literally the second he put his sentence out. So my microscopic following, even though I was literally the first person to tweet it, I guarantee that no one fucking saw it because my following is microscopic, which is kind of a bummer. Because I literally hit send as soon as he was done talking about it when he said what it is. I was like, oh, send. Because I had it mostly typed out beforehand. I had the setup. Anyway, so he said, I have big DCU news to break, and it was like this. All right, so oh, wait, hold up. I'm dumb. Okay, here we go.
So that's all the DC news before I talk about my thing. So do I have a thumbnail for it? Okay. So we know that there was a project that James Gunn has talked about, and that has been reported quite a few times
Ooh, that's
here.
six, you know.
The status of it has been reported quite a few times by people. I want to give a little bit of a background on this before I get into the actual news. But, as recently as June, we got an update on the project. It was in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, where DC Studios co-chief gave a small but welcome update on the project. And that project is Paradise Lost. He said is Paradise Lost is moving along. It's slow moving, but it's moving. And yeah, I really love that project a lot. So, cut to today. And let me say that sources are telling me that DC was meeting with writers for Paradise Lost, was taking pitches for Paradise Lost, but they've been informed that the project is dead. Paradise Lost is dead, will not be happening as a TV show, and not dead in the sense of like, well, they're just going to wait for a script. And no, apparently they're being told, these writers and these people who've pitched storylines for Paradise Lost to be the showrunners or the writers on Paradise Lost, they've been told that this project is now dead, no longer in active development, dead. And that is a massive bit of news, because I think a lot of people felt that it was a little weird that you were going to do a Themyscira.
Okay, he just goes about to pontificate and shit for a hot minute. Well, chat. It's happened again, chat. And we've talked about this with Gunn before. This has happened before. Gunn will announce a project, basically getting his Lucasfilm on. He will announce all this shit, and then it won't appear. It's already happened a couple times. Sergeant Rock. Going to be directed by Luca Guadagnino. Supposed to star fucking Daniel Craig. That's done. Fuck. I just had the name of the group in my head and now it went away. God damn it. What's that group that the engineer's part of, guys? God fucking. I literally just had it too. The Authority. There was supposed to be an Authority movie. That got toasted. And now, thank you guys. And now, Paradise Lost is toasted. They didn't like any of the pitches. Evidently, they couldn't crack it the same way Marvel couldn't crack Blade, although not being able to crack Paradise Lost is a lot, makes more sense than not being able to crack Blade. Yeah, so another one bites the dust, guys. Another failure to produce from DC Studios. Now, a couple things about this. One thing is, hopefully James has learned his fucking lesson. Not to announce a bunch of shit at one time, because you've now hit the hat trick on not being able to fucking follow through, bro. You've now hit a hat trick on that shit. And that's not a good look. It's not a good look when your first movie underperformed. Said underperformance in the box office, not overall. A lot of people can't seem to tell the fucking difference between overall performance and just box office performance. A movie, many movies, in fact, have underperformed at the box office, but still ended up doing well for the studio because of ancillaries. That is what Superman is. Superman overall made money for the studio, but that was because of ancillaries. Ted Sarandos said under oath in a congressional hearing that Superman fucking underperformed. And he had full access to Warner Brothers numbers, so he would know. So, whether the gun garglers want to admit it or not, Superman underperformed at the box office. At the box office. Not overall. It made money on the back end. But at the box office, it underperformed. It's just the way it is, yo. That's just the way it is, man. So, you've got your first big movie underperformed. You've got the Peacemaker Season 2 finale absolutely pissing off your fan base. You've got a Creature Commandos animated show, which was fun. And that's what you got for your DCU right now. And you've had to shit can Sergeant Rock, The Authority, and now Paradise Lost. Now the advantage is that these projects that have been shit canned are all side projects that really didn't need to be made in the first place. So, that's a bit of a plus. Like, this shit really didn't need to be made anyway. I mean, out of Sergeant Rock, Paradise Lost, and an Authority movie, the only one that probably would have been even remotely accepted by the general audience is an Authority movie. Like, no one gives a fuck about Sergeant Rock. Shit, most DC fans don't give a shit about Sergeant Rock. And then you were trying with Paradise Lost, a Game of Thrones style show set on Themyscira, home of the Amazons, but set way before Wonder Woman even existed, before Diana was born. So it would basically be like House of the Dragon if Game of Thrones was like the modern continuity. It would be House of the Dragon. So kind of a mixed bag. Oh yeah, there was always the chance it would have been good. You're right, Brooke. There is always the chance it could have been good, but like just in general, did you really need that show? Not really. And plus, there's also been like rumblings off and on that HBO is fairly resistant to having to take on a shit ton of DC shows because they like what they like to make, and that's what they want to put out there. It'd be cool if they would just give us like the Justice League. Crazy idea. Dude, that's an insane idea. I don't know why you would even bring that up. That is such a hot take. No. But yeah, so overall, yet another indictment on Gunn's ability to be a studio co-president, which is he's been proven time and time again he's not fucking good at that job. He can make good movies sometimes, but he is a piss poor executive, and this is yet another example of such. But again, to be fair, these projects that have not come to fruition are basically side projects, not really necessary to the universe as a whole. So, that's kind of a mitigating circumstance, makes it less than the thing. It would be a lot more impactful if like he announced like an actual Wonder Woman movie, and then that didn't end up happening or whatever. Or I doubt that would even happen. They would definitely get away. Maybe like say a Martian Manhunter movie. Not an A tier character, but a bigger character than most of the characters Gunn's tried to introduce to this point, right? And yeah, so it's nothing like on the order of announcing a Martian Manhunter project and then that going away. This is a a prequel series or historical series, I guess. It's not really a prequel to anything unless you want to consider it a prequel to modern times or what have you, but yeah, still. Yet another oopsie by James Gunn, not being able to seal the deal, as it were, on yet another announced project. Not the best look, even if it is a show that didn't really need to be made. It's a good damn thing that there's at least a hint that Supergirl could be better than expected. Now, again, that was just 3 people that we talked about earlier that gave that early screener, positive notes. Again, they disagreed on the villain, but, there was definitely some good news in there. A fair chunk of Lobo, him crucial to the end. Evidently a dope-ass hallway scene. And a nice dark tone, the way that story's supposed to be. I'm here for that shit. So that could end up, if that shit's accurate, that could be a boon. If Lanterns pops off next year, that could definitely be a boon. Clayface, doesn't really matter what Clayface does, I don't think. I mean, they're making Clayface so cheaply, or at least the goal is to make it so cheaply. If that thing does $200 million, then it'll still make a profit. Good on them. And if that also happens to be like a really good cinematic feature, just as a cinematic feature, that'd be good for DC too. But, barring what could be a good run in 26 for DC, like right now, it's not pretty. Like, it's not really confidence inspiring. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people are going to sit back and be like, oh, he canceled another project. Yeah, DC's still fine. Some people will say that. Gun garglers would definitely say that. Other regular-ass DC fans could say that too, like the more hopeful set. But there's still going to be plenty of people going, damn, dude, I don't know about this shit. This is the way it's going to be. Don't know if I want to spend money in the theater on this shit. Could be some very good things coming, but not a good look right now at all. Which is kind of a bummer, because I honestly want the DCU to succeed. I want good DC, goddammit. But Gunn has to do his fucking job and deliver. Now, hopefully this means that they can take those resources that were about to be put into that shit and put them where they're really needed, which is getting Wonder Woman and Batman going so we can get the fucking Trinity already. Like, seriously, James, quit fucking around with all this side bullshit and get the fucking Trinity going. Like, real talk. Forget about it. Griff, what's happening? Forget about making these side projects that are tangential to main characters. And just give us the fucking main characters. Paradise Lost being dead is good. Now take those resources and put it on the Amazon you should have put it on in the first place. Diana Prince, give us fucking Wonder Woman. A good Flash movie would be nice as well. Yes, 100% agree with that. After the Trinity is established. The next two solo movies need to be Wonder Woman and Batman. After Clayface, obviously, because that's already happened. And they really should tease one of them in Man of Tomorrow. Like, real talk. Yeah, it's like, it's a bad look that this project is toast, but in the long run, could actually be beneficial. If they reallocate the resources that we're going to go to that properly. Yeah, Gunn needs to give us the Trinity, and he needs to do it way sooner rather than later. Like that, those need to be top two on his list. And in some interview a little while ago, he alluded as to how he does have a project ready to go. Well, guess what, James? If it ain't Wonder Woman or Batman, then don't fucking bother. Like, we are at the point. Like, cool. We got Superman. We got the Justice Gang. Ugh. We're about to get Supergirl. Cool. Totally fine with that. But after Clayface, your next solo movie, which will also be after Man of Tomorrow, better be Wonder Woman or Batman. Yeah, well, I guess it better be Wonder Woman because you're not going to do Batman near Reeves' Batman in October 27th. Actually, you could do either. Whatever you're going to do, we need either Wonder Woman or Batman in 2028. Period. End of fucking story. Give us the Trinity. Or at least get going on giving us the Trinity. What the fuck are we doing here, dude? The Trinity is the foundation for the DC universe. If you want to build your universe or build anything, you need a good foundation first. So get your goddamn foundation going, bro. Get it going. We need a Wonder Woman or Batman movie in 2028. Period. End of story. That needs to be your priority, James Goon. Getting the Trinity needs to be your top cinematic priority. Yeah. Anyway, chat. That's it. Another fumble of a not big project, but yet another fumble that will hopefully end up in the long run working out well. But for now, he's not on the best run, and this doesn't help at all. Paradise Lost. The Themyscira Game of Thrones show. Dead. What you think about Paradise Lost being dead, chat? And replay people? What do you think? Comments. Comments. Chats. Let's have it. Make Wonder Woman Batman solo film and then make Paradise Lost? Or make Wonder Woman Batman solo film and not worry about that shit. It's always an option. Especially since HBO's like being very persnickety about not being inundated with a bunch of James Gunn DC shows. We're probably only making Lanterns because it's supposed to be intense and TVMA. You know, the HBO kind of shit. That shit HBO likes to do. So, yeah. All right, chat, that's all my stories. It is now your time. Thoughts, questions, concerns about anything we talked about tonight or any other nerdy shit. We'll chill for a few more minutes, do a little chit-chatting, and then I'm out of this bitch. I gotta do some stuff before the Super Bowl starts. And we don't get a Doomsday trailer because Marvel's a bunch of punk bitches. Well, Batman, but there are a lot of Batman movies. This is true, but most of them, actually, all of them weren't part of a shared universe. And technically, we did not get a solo Batman movie in the Snyderverse. We got Batman v Superman. All the solo Batman films have not been in a big old shared universe like what Gunn's trying to build. So we need that one. I mean, Reeves isn't doing any crossovers. He's just doing Batman and Batman Rogues Gallery. Well, there's only two Keaton ones. You get two Keaton, then you get Val Kilmer, then you get Batnips Clooney. And if I'm being perfectly honest, they deteriorate in quality every time. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the first three. The fourth one's like, yeah, oh God. Yeah, we need Gunn's DCU Batman. You just don't mind if he joins later in the universe? I mean, that's fair. But I go back to the Trinity being the foundation of the Justice League and the DC universe as a whole. So you really can't fuck around for too long on getting Batman in there. In my opinion. He needs the Trinity. He needs the Trinity. With no Trinity, no Justice League. They're smart. They would just get the Reacher guy to do it. See, I would want Alan Richardson if they were doing absolute Batman. But for regular ass Batman, I mean, he needs to be. Affleck was probably the perfect size for a regular ass Batman. He was still pretty big, but he wasn't as insanely big as Alan Richardson. He was fucking huge. After watching Superman and Lois, makes me not like Gun Superman near as much. Was that the most recent one with what's his name? Tyler Hoechlin? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, I've heard. If that's what you're talking about, yeah, I've heard lots and lots and lots of good shit about that show. Yes, indeed, I have. Yeah, Alan Richardson is built for absolute Batman. I don't think I want him for regular Batman. They probably cast a Batman already, but haven't let the public know yet. I don't know if any studio could keep that secret for too terribly long. Like that's huge. Like that's huge. Although thinking about it, there's not too many DC leaks that happen. Not too many. I mean, a couple things have slipped out here and there about Reeves shit. There were some leaks for Superman. Never mind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Batman was cast, that would be out. That's just way too big for that to be kept secret. Someone would find out and spill the fucking beans. I mean, that's massive news. Now, I'm sure they have a short list, and I'm sure they've had conversations. I'm sure they've had conversations with people. I'm sure they have a short list. But as for actually having their Batman cast, I doubt it at this point. Yeah, we did end up getting a pretty big plot leak for Superman now that I think about it. Yeah. No, you are right. They aren't King of the Hill the way that Marvel is in cinema. They are King of the Hill in print, though. Holy shit. Marvel's getting their ass handed to them by DC right now in the comics. Big time. They called you, but you had to turn it down. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Guys, got anything else? Because if not, I'm going to get on out this bitch. I'll give you another minute or so, though. All right, chat. Well, I'm going to get the fuck on out of here then. Just got done editing. Nice. Good deal. Now you can chill out. All right, yo. Love you, chat. I'm getting the fuck out this bitch now. As always, I appreciate you. We'll be talking. You just got here. We're talking about me just leaving here, bro. But you can hook me up with some watch hours on the replay. Yeah, no. I'm dipping. So thank you guys for being here so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are an amazing community. And I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out and listen to me yap about nerdy shit. I hope you enjoyed yourself. This stream, little finger of sidetrack. Welcome. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. Come on back Wednesday. Have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you enjoy the footballs. Wednesday night at 9. Come on back. Much love, y'all. Have a good Sunday. Have a good beginning to your week. And we'll see you Wednesday. Bye. Oh, yeah. Another good time in the basement, baby. Hope you guys have fun. I have fun. Hope you enjoyed the topics. Hope I didn't aggravate too many of you. Thanks again so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I mean, it's fucking Saturday night. So many other things you could be doing, but you're here. So thank you. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Hope you enjoy the Super Bowl or whatever you end up doing tomorrow. Hope you have a good beginning to your week. And we'll see you back here Wednesday night at 9 Eastern. Talk about whatever happens between now and then. So be good, be safe, have as good a time as you can, and remember, wherever you're at and whoever you're with, always keep it nerdy. Much love, y'all. Peace.